yeah, I decided to give it a shot. My friend has a copy, and I have the opportunity to play the game, try it out. I've asked my friend, he said that for the most part there's less dialogue, text than in Pathfinder, the Wrath of the Righteous. And he enjoys that there's more combat compared to that, I guess. And I'll see how it goes. Because I've dropped Pathfinder. I didn't finish it, but I finished Baldur's Gate 3. I've enjoyed that game. I know that this game won't be voiced. It won't have those, highly detailed cutscenes, but it's not about that. I wanted to play something in the world of Warhammer. I really love this universe. Played all of the Dawn of War games. Space Marine, waiting for Space Marine 2, so just wanted to, deep dive into a game set in that universe. And why not to do it with like the latest one that has a lot of lore, and yeah, just wanted to see how it plays. I don't know if I'll stick to it. It'll probably take me like fucking half a year to finish it, because I'm definitely gonna switch to other games. What I plan to maybe do after a week of this, probably I will play this through this whole week, and then I'm gonna switch to other projects for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna probably play once a week. I will find a day where I can actually sit and play for 3 hours or 2.5 hours straight, But this week I have time. I'll play it to the fullest. So, Rogue Trader. I think I'm not gonna be playing it on a hard difficulty for sure, because I'm a rookie in this kind of, setting. CRPGs. I've played CRPGs, but I'm not so good at them. So I'm not gonna scenario. What is scenario? Main story. There's different types, I guess. Main story and difficulty. Let's read the premise. Pick up the mantle of Rogue Trader, the sign of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate, and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of von Valancius as it faces multiple threats. From within its own ranks and without as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity, it is up to you to hold the reins of this shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the von Valancius dynasty, currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes are high and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of Corona's expanse. And of course we have pretty much the same layout. I think was pretty similar in Pathfinder. Let's see. You also have all those parameters that I'm not gonna even bother changing. Story, normal. Normal difficulty level is designed for players unfamiliar with the base game systems or those who play tactical games and RPGs infrequently. It's for me. The stats and modifiers of enemies and the game environment are slightly reduced. Varying difficulty level demands that players possess a solid grasp of the base game systems or extensive experience in analog tactical games. Difficulty level is not recommended for players unfamiliar with Rogue Trader system. So it's like, if you're not familiar, it's for a second playthrough, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna keep it normal. Okay? Normal. regenerated characters. Hekara, Darius, Bahardur. Appearance.
I did fine.
Void ship. Gonna make my own, of course.
Volley!
Fire the...
You didn't stand a chance!
Let's see. Appearance. I like this one. Kinda, his face kinda reminds me of the protagonist from Disco Elysium. Alright, let's see which one I like. I like this. This. Gonna go with this fella. Appearance. Even looks kinda similar to it. Body type. I wonder, is this scar? I guess it's part of the moral. Ah, wait. sure if it's even changes it. Augmentations. Oh, golden plating on the head. Oh. Oh, this is neat. An implant on the side where it's actually burned up. Oh, like this. Like this. So you can have two, right?
Excellence matters.
The Emperor gave me a vision. I don't need luck. I have strategy.
I like that voice.
Whispers, guide my hand.
The destination is known.
Lance batteries, volley!
Yeah, I'm gonna go with pragmatic male. Homeworld. What do we have here? Death World, Voidborn, Hive World, Forge World, Imperial World, Fortress World. Death World. On Death Worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself take aggressive and destructive forms inimical to human life. Whilst exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Death Worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. Survival instinct feature. Once per combat, when the wounds of a Death World character drop below 30%, they gain 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds. Also gain plus 20% to dodge and armor while they have at least one temporary wound from any source. That's cool. You lose intelligence and fellowship. Like a survivor, basically. Talents. Gain crit. Against bleeds. Okay. Plus crit for axes, hammers, and laser weapons, I guess. Voidborn are humans birthed in the belly of a void vessel or aboard an ancient orbital satellite. Those who have lived their lives on void ships become inert to some extent due to the reality-altering process of warp travel, and to living in lower zero-gravity environments. In many cases, their features are drawn and their skin pallid. They may even have minor deformities or strangeness to their speech, gait, or general appearance that sets them apart from others. Fortune. Can reroll any failed attack, dodge, parry, characteristic, or skill test with 20% chance of success. This chance cannot be greater than the base success chance of the roll. Additionally, any enemy dodge or parry against a Voidborn character has a 20% chance to fail after a successful roll. Intelligence, willpower. Bonus. So it's more like a luck chance build. A lot of chances, a lot of chances. Hive world. A hive world's population is so dense that great swathes of the surface of the world are frequently covered in gargantuan cities, bejeweled with towering spires that pierce the atmosphere. Hive worlds are vital to the welfare of the Imperium and are the beating heart of its economy and war machine. They produce munitions for the Emperor's armies and vast manufactories, mine valuable minerals and refine fuel for the Imperial Navy. Innumerable regiments of the Astra Militarum are raised from their massive populations as well. Fellowship agility, willpower goes down. Forge worlds are the domain of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Entire planets ceded to the demands of vast macro industries. Each is a manufacturing super complex of unimaginable capacity and power. Over the millennia, different forge worlds have become especially renowned for their philosophies of ways of war. These are often colored by the technologies they specialize in manufacturing. The bulk of a forge world's population is utilized as a labor force, whilst the fortunate few may be inducted into the ranks of the Adeptus Mechanicus itself. Augmentation system from the following list: subskin armor, locomotion systems, critical chance. So it's like a tank bonuses. Good for some heavy hitting character. Imperial world. An imperial world is one of the million planets united by the belief in the immortal god emperor. Hailing from the hyper-technological societies to grimy feudal populations, the inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the master of humanity, an imperial creed espoused by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are nevertheless part of the Imperium, humanity's finest. Can select any characteristic except for weapon skill or ballistic skill and add +10. So it's basically like Jack of all trades, right? Master of none, probably. All allies excluding Xenos in the current party gain +5 to the same characteristic as was chosen for humanity's finest. Fortress world. Fortress worlds are planets where the entire populace is immersed in warfare. They constantly strain for the day that they may be called upon to defend the Imperium, a charge they solemnly uphold. Fortress worlds are established as bulwarks against the enemy. Every citizen is a soldier, trained to fight from the moment they can handle a weapon. Each time a Fortress World character kills an enemy, they gain +10 stacks of Never Stop Shooting. At the start of their turn, there is a stack of Never Stop Shooting percentage chance that the first attack this round will cost 0 AP. And will not count toward the attack limit per turn. Okay. It's about the talents. Combat Addict. I see that it's probably for a character that uses ballistic weapons heavily. I don't know. Might go with Imperial World. Either Death World or... Ah, wait, Imperial World doesn't have a characteristic modifiers. Interesting. You know what, I'm gonna go with Death World. Probably. Or... or Imperial World. Yeah, let's go with this. Imperial World. I think I'm gonna go... with willpower. Origin. Oh. Does it change depending on the world? Wait. I wanna know. Origin. I guess no. The Astra Militarum, commonly known as the Imperial Guard, is the primary fighting force of the Imperium and the first line of defense from the myriad threats that endanger the existence of humanity in the 41st millennium. You have served as one of the commanders of an Astra Militarum regiment, commanding thousands of and winning battles in the name of the God Emperor. Commissar. Commissars of the Officio Perfectus are ruthless officers charged with maintaining the morale, discipline and fighting spirit of the Astra Militarum regiment. You used to be one of these faithful servants of the God Emperor, a living symbol of Imperium authority, regarded with a mix of fear and awe by their subordinates. Crime Lord. The Imperium survives and prospers in no small part due to narrowness of its vision. but a rebellious mind and will such as yours could not be so easily constrained. The dark paths of smugglers and renegades that wind behind the facade of the Imperium society offer a dangerous refuge for those unwilling to bow to the law. You used to be one of these dangerous yet resourceful individuals. I'm gonna read about all of them later. Ministorum Priest. The Ecclesiarchy, known as, probably I've read it right, known formally as the Adeptus Ministorum, is a vast institution that oversees the galaxy-spanning religion of the Imperium. The Ecclesiarchy complex hierarchies of cardinals, missionaries, preachers, and zealous laity ensure the prescribed prayers and invocations are made, all the while instructing the masses to guard against heresy and deviancy. He used to be one of those fiery and charismatic individuals concerned with keeping a close watch on your congregation. Navy officer. The Imperial Navy is responsible for the fleets of the void ships that assert the dominance of the Imperium amid the stars and fulfill other duties connected to the void and warp travel. He used to be a Navy officer and commander of void ship, hardened in numerous battles and famous for resounding victories. Noble. The high nobility of the Imperium are an enormously privileged and powerful elite. A breed apart from the common masses they rule. You grew into adulthood upon a pedestal of affluence and grandeur that towered high above the common masses. You expected their obedience and lived upon the fruits of their toil, surrendered to your family in solemn fealty. Definitely not that. Oh, sanctioned Psyker. Psykers are feared and distrusted, but are nonetheless valuable assets to the Imperium. The role of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica is to recruit, identify, and classify those found to possess psychic abilities. The most powerful who somehow survive the rigorous sanctioning rituals are selected to serve on the battlefield. The mind of sanctioned Psyker is steeled against the manifold dangers risked by wielders of war powers. You are one of those found worthy to serve humanity and have miraculously survived the perils of the warp. This dangerous phenomenon may occur whenever veiled degradation reaches 15 and a major psychic power is activated. The chance of this happening is 10 plus psi rating, veiled degradation percentage. Battle of the Warp are dangerous to anyone in the vicinity of the Psyker. Their manifestation can push away characters, damage them, summon demons. Holy shit, it's like a void outburst. They are unpredictable and extremely dangerous. Divination. I'm not gonna go with Noble. You serve me. You serve me. Commerce, demolition. It's a buff for everyone. All allies affected by brace of impact for impact suffer only half damage. Hmm. I don't know, I feel like I want to go with someone who gives some bonuses to a party. Crime Lord feels like it's more like single-minded bonuses. Commissar at all cost. The Commissar's next single shot or single target melee attack applies the following effect. Enemy target, the target becomes marked. The ally who kills the marked enemy gains an additional turn after the current one with +2 AP. Oh, I like this. This is interesting. If you would have a situation where a character that you wanted to do more actions couldn't do it, you could basically create a buff scenario, put a mark on an almost dead enemy, select that other party member and kill him with him and get a bonus for that, for more action points. Allied target. All allies gain an additional +1 AP. Wait. So if we attack, if we activate it, we attack ally target, all allies gain additional AP. So you can like kick your party's ass and motivate them to do something. All their allies deal additional damage to enemies that are adjacent to the commander or their allies until the end of the commander's next turn. All of the commander's allies also suffer no damage from allies' attacks until the end of the commander's next turn. Neat ability. This is an interesting class. It's basically like risk and reward. You push a little bit forward and you risk to summon some fucking mobs on your map. Interesting, interesting. Telepathy. Pyromancy. Mage. Like his talents mostly deal with damage mitigation. I don't know what to choose. Are those different for... Oh, they are different. It's just like a buff. Buffs your movement, buffs your damage. So maybe I'm gonna go with either Crime Lord. You know. Commerce awareness, tech use. Skills affected by intelligence characteristic. What was my willpower? Willpower bonus. So, willpower bonus. Probably don't use. We won't use that commerce bonus. Oh, it's so hard to choose. I want awareness. Fear of greatness. We're gonna go with this. Under your command, avoid to brave the terrible warp storm without a single casualty among the crew. Darkest hour. Grim portents. You have journeyed through dark and forsaken systems, and the things you have seen have left a mark on your soul that will never heal. PTSD, I got it. Brand of shame. Once in your path, when the temptation of easy gains got the better of you, you resorted to piracy and were caught red-handed. Wait, what's the... I wonder what's different before Crime Lord then? Persuasion, carouse, commerce. Wow. An inauspicious deal with the wrong people resulted in the rise of chaos cult and the horrific massacre of innocents. That's huge. So I think I'm gonna go with Navy Officer. And yeah, let's go with him. I'm gonna go with Grim Portents. Our Navy officer has seen some shit. Archetypes. Archetypes are developed paths that your character follow. Each archetype encapsulates a unique set of skills and expertise and represents a specific combat specialization, from the frontline warrior to the indispensable leader preferring command from the rear. Choose who you want to be in the grim dark future of Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. Who I wanna be? I usually like to play in third-person games. I usually play either a warrior or a rogue. In games like this, I usually prefer to play either as a buffer enchanter that sticks to the middle of the group, or as a frontline character. So let's see. Level 1. And all types, we have 4 types. All of them have different paths. Some of them have the same ones, some change. An operative uses intelligence and perception to find and exploit weaknesses in enemies' defenses. None can withstand an attack from an operative. Core focus, precise single attacks, defense penetration, area debuffs, consistent fighting position. Use willpower and fellowship to improve the combat capabilities of their allies, turning them into even greater threats on the battlefield. Extra turns, single target buffs, rescuing allies, momentum. With momentum, your party members can use unique abilities called heroic acts and desperate measures. In battle, the level of momentum changes depending on the actions of characters. If the momentum gauge reaches 175 or more, any party member can use a heroic act. If momentum drops below 25, your party will gain the ability to use desperate measures, which has a number of negative effects. Probably a high risk chance of something going badly. Run and gun. Revel in slaughter. I'm leaning towards operative. Let's go with operative. Uses intelligence and perception. He's gonna be probably a ranged character. A bit to the toughness. And perception. Name of the void ship? Huh. Looks almost like a space castle. Wow. The Sword class frigate is a classic void ship design, proven in thousands of battles, combining decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. Estimated dimensions: 1.6 km in length, 0.3 km abeam at the fins approx. Estimated tonnage: 6 megatons. Estimated number of souls: 26,000. The von Valancius flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the von Valancius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Its plasma drives are rugged yet reliable in extreme conditions. The flagship's size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting the countless pirates, Xenos and heretics in the Coronus Expanse. Numerous von Valancius rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the von Valancius dynasty. Patient fortune. Mercy of the stars. Ignatius. I'm gonna call him. Zelkor. It's just one of the character names from many MMOs. You know. What kind of... wait. So it's just a name. I see. Okay. Oh, let's go with that. So this will be my character. Let's print screen it. It took me an hour. About the same as I did with Baldur's Gate. But I tinkered more with the character model. What was that?
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Do you have particular reason for disturbing me?
My apologies. I did not seek you out to pester you with unwanted attention.
Konrad Voigtvir.
Allow me to introduce myself. Konrad Voigtvir, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Commodore Zelkor van Minard, Lord Captain of Drass's Blessing. Oh, I love this. I love this title.
My regards, Lord Captain. Though perhaps I should refrain from addressing you thus while aboard this vessel. With all due respect, Commodore.
Voigtveer smiles faintly, but you are not sure it is directed at you.
I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with her ladyship. Bear it with honor.
You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencias. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
You see, I'm the one of the Rogue Trader sayers, so there is another candidate?
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those whom you obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great that she is capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium. Your fate.
Tell me about the one whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencias are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Is there money to be made?
So what happened? I had a black screen during cutscene. Wait. Frame rate limit.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Actually, he's using the graphics card. God damn. I'm surprised. Massive conference table, obviously crafted from real wood. a resource of incredible value aboard the void ship.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Incomprehensible information is displayed on a large screen above the cogitators. You can make out references to unfamiliar systems and worlds among the numbers and logisticar symbols. Greetings, my lord. May his will strengthen my heart. May my humble deeds be for the benefit of humanity. A candlelit altar with a copy of volume of Lex Imperialis, the Codex of the Sacred Laws of the Imperium.
I always have a backup plan.
One of the Von Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
I like how it is shown through a CCTV camera.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Challenges make the spoils that much sweeter.
To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system. Okay, give me a sec. I wanted to check one thing. My friend said that the game has actually gore. I just wanted to see if it's on. Gore on. Bloodstains on. Nice. What am I actually using? Stub revolver. What can I do? Start the battle. It forces your view. Movement and combat. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Movement points MP determine how far a character can move on their turn. And 1 MP corresponds to 1 cell on the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Can I hit him from here? Guess not. 3 MP. 4. 2. Okay, shows you chances of hitting. Yeah. The amount of damage your character deals depends on the parameter of the weapon they are using. The effectiveness of the shot depends on the distance between the character and the enemy and other modifiers. Certain abilities in a game are considered attack actions and can only be used once per turn. If a character performs an attack action, they will not be able to attack again and will lose their remaining movement points. Ah, interesting. So you can move, but if you attack, you lose your movement. So you want to spend, I guess, your movement points first.
I don't need luck. I have strategy.
I guess let's hit him. Yeah.
I'll see to it personally.
10. What is this? Once per combat.
On it.
Nice.
I'll make it happen.
God damn it. So I guess rip to the crew officer. He's also an operative.
I'll see to it personally.
Attack of opportunity. Character with melee weapon can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. It can also be triggered by some abilities. All characters with melee weapons, including members of your party, can make attacks of opportunity. I won't get him.
For the glory of the Imperium!
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
You have come too late.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
The Master of Whispers gives you a curt bow. Can I loot those guys?
I always keep my options open.
Guess not. Tarantula sentry gun, constructed with the blessing of the Adeptus Mechanicus using a standard template construct in the manufactorums of Chiava Gamma. The wires in the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction was short-circuiting of the motive force. I don't remember how the servitors were made. Were they like created from corpses of fallen? Forbidden Grimoire.
Is there money to be made?
Violet alloy, which upon closer examination turns out to be a handcrafted object. Symbols carved with a primitive tool are visible on the surface. A black shard resembling obsidian. If you look closely, you can discern a strange, barely perceptible glow inside the artifact. A massive golden amalgam interspersed with sparkling particles.
Let us not dawdle.
The stone on the pedestal is no doubt solid, but its surface shimmers and changes hue, as if someone has captured a piece of turbulent sea within the rock. Strange object that resembles sea coral. The porous surface is pitted, a sign that it has been underwater. A grey-green crystal with white veins. A low hum can be heard coming from the artifact. I wonder, will they actually play some kind of part later on? Maybe we can steal some of the objects and sell them. So what is my current objective? Conrad Voigtweer has decided to remain at the scene of the servitor's incident to personally investigate the cause. Theodora von Valancius is at the orrery. She must not be kept waiting.
Keep your wits about you.
Right, where am I going?
I always have a backup plan.
Lifts carrying people around the decks move with a loud grinding noise.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Massive golden structure never stops moving for a moment. Light bounces off the orbits and figures representing celestial bodies.
I always keep my options open.
Ah, it's serious.
That is
simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I
Heresy!
have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad? While you are considering your answer, Edelthrad, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling. Approach.
What is this? Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion?
I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. This is the second candidate for the title of my successor. Step forward. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Let's see. Your character's skill reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogue automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed or a hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected for each given passive skill test. Iron 7 must be purged. I mean 6. For the good of the Imperium. I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs. No. No. Succeeded. Lore. I guess those are the additional things we got from the check. Lore Xenos or Lore Warp? Those spirits could well be natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case if the population of Ion 6 engages in Xeno worship.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which is, I understand, was still more than you could do, Edeltrad.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officers' deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
Adoltrad bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look.
So, why are you here?
Was it not you who sent for me? There are questions that I wish to have answered.
You are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
The secret relic document that affirms the preeminent rights of rogue trader throughout the galaxy. The warrant grants not only a permission to travel beyond the Imperium's borders, but a license to deal with pirates, mutants, or Xenos if needed. Rogue traders use the warrant of trade to conquer or colonize newly discovered planets, to gain exclusive trade rights with newly discovered cultures, and to explore the galaxy beyond the Imperium's frontiers.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
It's all too sudden for me.
Perhaps. Yesterday you were just another servant of the Imperium, one of the faceless multitudes. Today, visitors in the von Valancius colors come to you without any explanation and escort you to a vessel that departs for the far-off Coronis expanse. But such is the nature of my position. My claim on you is sacred and non-negotiable. I require all those who possess even a drop of the von Valancius blood, no matter who they may be.
I kind of missed where did we get the blood from?
Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer
More like
of
a
the
distant
warrant
relative of
trade.
hers.
Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least. Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
If you are satisfied with Edeltrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. You were once a Lord Captain yourself, aboard your own ship. You know everything there is to know about the life of this gargantuan beast and its thousands of crew members. You know how fickle machine spirits can be, how weak-willed are the rabble from the lower decks, how a single tactical decision can turn the tide of a battle. Moreover, your courage has made you far more famous than you yourself probably realize. True feats of heroism will forever live on in the annals of the Imperium and bring honor to the von Valancius line.
Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the
I'm
God
beloved.
Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
100% there's something on the ship. If it's that old, you know, something got in. Something got in. What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
What is your ship headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
Navigator translation? What are these things that you speak of?
Surely I should not have to explain such things to a former Commodore? Did you never set foot outside your stateroom? Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination. crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead. Sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars.
I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
What is happening? The rebellion?
I'll make an example out of you!
All of you will bleed!
Can I control them? No, they are on their own.
I can handle this.
A tactically sound approach. One fewer target.
Stay vigilant.
Ooh.
Death to the heretics!
Ah, those are heretics.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
I am ready for whatever comes. It's as good as done. You never stood a chance.
Your character has just landed a critical hit that deals increased damage equal to the character's critical damage stat. Character's critical damage is 150% of their normal damage by default. However, certain talents, effects and abilities can increase it. Certain weapons have their own critical damage stat, which is added to the character total stat value during attack. Cool.
I serve the ruinous sparkles!
Death to non-believers!
Brace yourself, Abelard. My ears are ringing.
Weapon at the ready! Die!
Your character has received a temporary positive effect. Bonus to ballistic skill.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature. I'll make it happen. I'll see to it another enemy down.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
I'm not gonna ask her what is happening because Probably is not necessary because we were you know, like a commander of a ship. We're just gonna go straight to the burning question. What are the orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Let us not dawdle.
The heretic's body is riddled with holes and provides single shotgun lies smoking in his hand.
Keep your wits about you.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Kunrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineering regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here, in the warp?
Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable.
Purge them all.
First,
Purge
we have
them.
to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously.
Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
Theodora glances at you, thoughtfully.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psychic powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I shall do everything in my power.
Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. More.
What a bitch. It's understandable. She risks losing everything after she was so pompous in telling us all the riches that she has, all the influence.
It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I have a proposition. Since I'm the more important person here, you can go in front to shield me from potential threats. I shall make do, lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
With a pop and sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. What? I promised you a special destiny, Zalcor. It is time to fulfill it. He's with them, right? It's his mutiny, probably. Because she denied him his place.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Voidvir, you two-faced scum. You're the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it? Inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Von Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
We have an option. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy? Your sordid, wretched piece of grog shit?
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench von Valencia's watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
He wants to ascend into demonhood? Or he got a promise from the Chaos Gods? Voidbeard hesitates for a second and then produces a strange weapon, a blade without a handle that shimmers blue in the light. The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear on your palm. On your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate, go to the gate. So it's like tries to make me open the door myself. Let's fight it. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence, forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gate looming in the center of the chamber. Skill tests and dialogues. One of the available dialogue options require making a skill test. Unlike with passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which will depend on the result of the associated test. Success or failure affect how the dialogue will develop. Depending on the context, you might change the course of the conversation. What I'm not gonna do this time around, I'm not gonna save scum at all. I'm not gonna save scum how I did in Baldur's Gate. No. We're just gonna go with the choices that the game will make. With the choices that will happen without changes. So. %100% chance. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eyes is the strange alloy that was used as a material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vivid screen to the right of your lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, demanding sacrifice. The voices that fill your head after Voidbeard wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source collated itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Now we're gonna be affected by the whispers of the void, of the chaos. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in the place of the standard joints. It seems that the creator of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of the ordinary automatons. Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. Look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Yes. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Maybe a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar inside.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The windscreen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass, the Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
Yes. You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, cracking like static. Is it the Sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word.
Genetic code identified. Child of House von Valancius. Do you require assistance?
I guess. You hear a displeased grunt in your mind, as if the lurking entity has sensed something that is not to its liking. Yes, Sentinel, traitors threaten my life and the safety of the warrant. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Well, there is still another way.
The enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impregnable.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon, I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
The server skull goes silent. It relays clicking. Second after second passes and you realize that the server skull will not answer you.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units, Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
As the game's story unfolds, you will see notification at the top of the screen indicating that the status of your current objective has been updated. Okay, a journal. The rumors and contracts section also contains important information.
I always have a backup plan.
Master! What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
Konrad Voigtver is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of that plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor! I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Voigtver openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny.
Saints' blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Medkit, armored body glove, sniper rifle. When a character initially suffers an injury, it is considered a fresh injury during the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed using a medkit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with a medkit, but they require the character administering the treatment to pass medic skill test to succeed. Medkits can all be used by characters who have the field medic feature. Be skill medic or have taken medic skill advancement at least once. Let's equip the gear first. Or let's...
Your seneschal is always there for you.
Yes, 2 medkits.
Let's patch you up.
I won't forget this.
Doesn't change our outfit. How do you change the outfit? I wonder.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
What can we expect to find in the navigator's sanctum?
During warp transit, the sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the immaterial. Only a navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
I had one of Theodora's voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive.
What?
You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
So many intriguing questions that have many possibilities. I like that.
I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
The Navigator's Sanctum. Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed. The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
To arms!
Tactical phase. Combat begins with tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions but may try to take up advantage positions. Select a character by clicking blah 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 blah. Advantageous position. There are none. Well, he can go in, he's a melee. And I will be here.
I've suffered worse.
Your new companion is a warrior. Abelard specializes in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attacks. Charge is a unique warrior ability that works only when they are using melee weapon and is not considered an attack action. Use charge to close the distance between you and the enemy and deal damage. So it's like an additional action. Definitely, we're definitely gonna cleave them.
Reduced to dust. It will be done. At your beck and call. Just a minor setback.
Such is the will of chaos.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
I am your doom.
She just killed her own.
What?
I'll make it happen. Your end was inevitable.
I will do like I took care of this one. It will be done. I've suffered worse.
Who, if not me? You never stood a chance.
Indeed.
Another enemy down. Always keep your eye on the prize.
The first time I can actually loot them. How much inventory space we have? So, how can I level it up? Shows you the stats from the companions. That's good. It's convenient that it's here. Let's go for corrals. Here is a map of your void ship. It consists of several parts, between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available, but over time your character will be able to access them.
What advice do you seek?
Rise to the top, or get left in the
The
dust.
navigator sector is directly along the passageway. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valencius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
Maybe the ship is possessed. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper. Its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are von Valencius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Officer's frequency. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
We must save the navigator as well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
I have a job to do, I guess.
Close ranks. Come to chaos.
Indira. She's gonna be here. My character will stay here. Indira is a psyker and an operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and basically the same thing as I do. She's armed with special staff that allows a psyker to unleash psychic powers. In the future, you will encounter staves that only psyker versed in a certain discipline can use. Ah. Let's start with the psyker. Probably want to deal with him first.
Will do. But of course.
Let's make it quick.
Just a
Chaos guides me.
I won't compromise my principles. I won't stand for it.
On it.
I'm surprised I didn't hit her.
It's as good as done.
Death to the weak! Out of my way!
See this.
Victory is reduced to dust. At your beck and call.
On it.
Hold on!
Got him.
I serve the ruinous powers!
Didn't even flinch.
Follow my lead. It will be done.
Will do.
The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through two dark grill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits in the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Your time is short.
You are in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair.
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Suddenly the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, and thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated, but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous screaming mouth-like pits.
It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Oh shit. Idira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
Is this one of the Chaos Gods possessing him? The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle into a stream mixed with the blood coming out of his nose. And there is purplish swelling around the eye.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but begin the translation, leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Who torments you?
The Edge. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, the shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the Edge of Daybreak by the Bringer of Twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
Each word rings through your head like the tolling of a bell, as if countless voices have joined in, screaming into your ears. For a moment you lose your bearings. This unholy chorus must be trying to confound you with sounds not meant for this world. The navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Vespidas, good luck. And thank you.
The navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the box at the base of the chair is bellowing out of static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. X. We gotta heal him. How can I heal?
Let us not dawdle. I have a nose for profit.
Ah, it's
and a taste for adventure.
It's full now.
Keep your wits about you.
Locked door.
I always have a backup plan.
So I guess we're going back. Officer's deck.
ship's as good as ours. It's all over for you.
I shall pity not your enemies.
Argenta.
I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these.
I shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my Emperor.
What is her class? The white-haired warrior turns to face you, her dark eyes blazing, the weapon quivers in her hands, and for a brief moment it seems she is not going to stop and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face, it is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Zelker von Valancius, the Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
The Seneschal is right, there is no time for talk.
Very well. We may leave it at that. For now. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
What is a warrior of Adepta Sororitas doing aboard a rogue trader's ship? Your orders serve the ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
What is happening on an officer's deck?
Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
How do I check? Outfit settings. Oh wait, there's an option to change the look. Show backpack. Show helmet. I don't understand why I don't see armored body glove. What does it change? Doesn't change anything. Color schemes. Like the red one. You have received a new, more efficient weapon for your character. To upgrade your equipment, open the inventory. Yeah. For my character, I mean. Which one is it? Well-maintained sniper rifle. Okay, guess. Add to cargo. Ah, it's their alignment. Puritan. She's in the middle. Ah, she's a little bit heretical. Haha. Wait, so we have 2 operatives and 2 warriors. Ah, it's a soldier, I see.
Is there money to be made?
Multi-key. Universal lockpicking tool. Provides additional opportunity to call out machine spirit and interact with device. Oh.
Would you look at that?
Your demise is already calculated.
Oh.
All of you will bleed!
Going in. Idira. Oh, there's a scroll. She's gonna stay here. Yeah.
I bring ruin.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
an unfortunate turn of fate. Anything else? Was that you? Or...
Indeed. Victory is imminent.
I am your doom.
Argenta is the warrior of the Adepta Sororitas and a soldier. She's an expert who bursts ranged weapons and weapons that deal damage in an area. Another of Argenta's strength is her mobility in combat. Run and gun is a unique soldier ability. Using it grants the soldier extra movement points and reduces the cost of the next attack by -1 action point. Wait, whose turn is it? It's her turn. Why I can't...
Doubt is for the weak. The enemies of the Emperor.
I understand why I can't...
I refuse.
Ah, because she's... I fucked it up.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen.
That's a good combo.
Will do.
Crush the feeble.
Chaos guides me.
Oh shit, no. She still can't shoot. Can I?
That is not the Emperor's will.
Can she use... Ah, you have to swap. Damn it.
Faith without each strike is a prayer.
I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done.
Pain cleanses the body.
Death to non-believers!
Combo.
It will be done.
I didn't know they can stand in one. Ah, I see what happened.
As the Emperor calls you, my Emperor!
On it. Your end was inevitable. Who if not me?
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury! Eradicated!
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
It won't open. The damned heretics have blocked the door, trembling at the thought of our approach.
A melter charge will help. There's probably one around here somewhere.
Let's not waste time with pleasantries. I always keep my options open.
To open a jammed door, click on the icon. The character with the highest tech use will make the skill test. I see.
I always get the job done.
Your character is about to make a tech use skill test. In dialogue and during exploration, you will often make various skill tests, and the result might determine how successful your character's efforts are.
Light of terror, guide our way.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
No, operator's gloves. What is that? It actually changes the gear. Maybe you just have to find a better armor that will be different visually.
I always have a backup plan.
Door.
Just as I planned. That's how it's done.
The Emperor favors me today.
I am at your service.
Endure. Until the warrior's next turn, all incoming damage is reduced by toughness.
Keep your wits about you.
Alright, I'm gonna save here. I wanna eat some food, and I might return a little bit later.